Just like in e-commerce with selling on eBay or Amazon, you can also do arbitrage in software. In fact, many large SaaS companies use arbitrage to make millions. And today I'm going to show you how you can do it on a much smaller scale and make thousands of dollars every month using SaaS Arbitrage. So if you're as confused as to how all this works, no worries. We're going to jump right into my computer right now and I'll show you an example of this in action. But before we do that, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you're not already. So let's jump right in. There is a company called TextBelt, and it was made as a little side project. In fact, the parent company, Alioth, appears to work with organizations like NASA and various private companies. So odds are that little old TextBelt is probably not very much of a priority. However, it is still bringing in $2,000 a month with effectively no one caring for it. So what this SaaS does is it allows you to send SMS text messages to any phone number. And they charge $3 for 50 text, which is 6 cents per text. Now you can get a discount if you send a lot more, but here's the thing. If we go over to Twilio, which is one of the largest text sending companies in the world, I mean, basically everybody uses Twilio to send text. And on the pay-as-you-go, we can send text for 1/8 of a cent. So 1/8 of a cent and then charge 6 cents, that's like a 7x markup. So we're charging 7 times more than what it costs to actually fulfill. That is very much like buying a product at Walmart and then selling it for 7 times more on eBay or Amazon, which is also something that I used to do. Now, I'm not sure if TextBelt is using Twilio under the hood or if they're using some like custom way of sending SMS. But here's the thing. If I was making a SaaS similar to TextBelt, I would just use Twilio because you can charge $3 to send 50 texts, but it's only going to cost you maybe 40 cents to actually send those texts. I call this SaaS arbitrage, buying a service and selling it at a higher price. Now, this is simple on paper, but how could we go about doing it ourselves? Well, first off, I would make a nicer website. This website looks like it was made with something simple like Bootstrap, but I would want to make a much nicer, like fancier, fun website because that will help with sales. And the thing is, you can use all sorts of different website builders out there. Tools like WebFlow allow you to create really beautiful looking websites very, very quickly. And next, we would need to actually take payments from our users, which can actually also be done in WebFlow. But if we didn't want to do it like that, we could just integrate directly with Stripe or PayPal, which looks like that's what TextBelt is doing here. So if I generate a new key and then hit pay with credit card, it will take me to a Stripe checkout. So this is just a simple Stripe checkout page for $3. And then no doubt once this processes, it basically in the back end gives that API key that I just generated and then is gone. So that's kind of a bug there because I kind of needed that key, but it will give that key 50 credits or 50 text that we can send. And all of that back-end stuff like, storing the API key and crediting it and actually, integrating with Twilio to send the actual text can all be done with Firebase. This is like my go-to back-end as a service. It's really easy to set up. You actually can integrate it into WebFlow. It's not the best, but it actually will work and could probably speed up substantially getting your product to market. So the whole thing comes together. It basically looks like a user comes to the site and they purchase credits in, directly through Stripe or PayPal or however you want to handle that. And they get an API key. And then in the back end, that API key gets credited a certain amount of credits. Then when a user wants to send a text, they use the API that sends a request to your backend on Firebase that just says, I want to send this as a text, here's my API key. And then it deducts 1 credit from that API key's total credits and then sends the text using Twilio's API. Now, all of this is probably only a couple dozen lines of code for the backend, even probably less than that. And if you're using WebFlow on the front-facing site, you're not really going to use any code there either. Now we've got a working SMS text sending site. Great. But how do we find customers? Now, I did a video relatively recently on how to find your early customers for free. So go check that out and watch that. But it looks like the way that TextBelt got their first customers was actually offering their full program, their full SaaS, as open source. So it looks like it is open source and has been open source for a while, and then they just made a paid version of the open source software. So you could go that route as well, but realistically, I would probably just pay a little bit for ads. And run some ads on Google for like SMS sending. Maybe competitive with Twilio, but if you can come up with a competitive advantage over them, that could be a way. Or you could post on Reddit in various places, or honestly, wherever business owners or little indie hackers or developers are going to be hanging out that might want to send SMS, get on there, make some posts, make some friends, and sell your SaaS. I know this was a pretty high-level overview, but in the near future, I'm thinking about doing like a build a full SaaS challenge. Try to build a SaaS as quickly as possible using only no-code tools. So if you're interested in that, drop a comment below telling me that you would want me to make a short series like that, because I think it'll actually be pretty challenging. But I'll try to find customers as fast as possible, show everything, do it all. So if I do that, be sure you're subscribed. Let me know in the comments if you want to see something like that. And that is all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.